All right, we're gonna have some fun tonight. You know, it was a busy work week. It was an intense work week. We had a lot of serious conversations, serious interviews, some serious speeches. So let's have a little fun because CPAC was quite the show this year. Breaking: Elon Musk and Argentine President Javier Milei. That's right, Javier Milei, freshly named in a fraud allegation over an obvious pump and dump rug pull crypto scam. That didn't cancel his invitation to CPAC. No, he showed up anyway. Now, just to give you an idea of how dorky these people are, they played the following video over Bad to the Bone. And I left in the first few seconds of genuine audio just because it's pretty funny. But then we did have to switch to our boogie woogie music for copyright purposes. But here he is meeting Elon backstage at CPAC. The festivities begin.
Hello, friend.
Let's hear that from the beginning. Oh, ho. Russ will translate to Spanish.
How are you? Good. I have a gift for you.
Thank you. And yes, a chainsaw.
Does it work?
Does it work?
It's so cool.
The music works over everything.
Let's go.
Do you need that again?
Let me see. Let's go sit. Let's go to sit for Doge.
So Doge. Yeah, obviously he is there to promote Doge since Javier Milei was really the ideological inspiration for Doge. I say it over and over again. You want to know Elon Musk's political hero? It's not Donald Trump. It's this maniac and now obvious scam artist, Javier Milei. So they took the chainsaw out on the stage. Now, this is short enough. I think we can get away with this. I'm going to have to fudge this a little bit, folks. I'm going to have to stop and pause at annoying moments so we don't get hit with a copyright claim. But the audio here is too priceless not to play.
Chainsaw!
A chainsaw! One more time.
I saw your tweet about that. Where you said
Idiocracy
was too kind.
Yes, Idiocracy was too kind. Dude, they couldn't have come up with this. If they wrote this in Idiocracy, they would have been like, "That's too much. People are gonna buy it."
Chainsaw!
Chainsaw! Now watch this. He's not done. I gotta pause it for a second so our copyright thing refreshes. All right, should be safe to play again now. God, what a fucking freak. What a fucking freak. Most powerful man in the world right here, folks. Make no mistake about it. The singularly most powerful man in the world. Here he is again.
Oh, okay. All right. So
Chainsaw!
all right. As funny as it is, again, when people tell you who they are, believe them.
Yeah.
What intentions do you think Elon Musk has towards the average person, the average poor schmuck, when he will take this guy who just scammed average people out of over $1 billion in an obvious crypto scheme, who took advantage of his position atop the state to run a seedy crypto pump and dump? Essentially, Javier Milei is the Hawk Tuah girl of world leaders.
Right.
And you bring him on a stage with you?
Yeah.
Why would you do that if you had any affection at all for the kind of people that he scammed? Not only do they not care about people, they assume, in a lot of cases correctly, that the people have been so reduced to a peasant mindset that they're not going to pay a price for that. And
Right.
he's right. Not
Right.
with his base, not
Right.
with the people he cares about. Yeah, look at that. That was so cool. He's on stage with the pesos. That was fucking awesome, man. That was awesome.
No, they know that the people don't care enough about each other to hold them accountable because the people have no solidarity because they have completely broken people to the point where that is a concept that is completely foreign to most people, unfortunately. And I would say almost all of the people who still idolize these guys. So here's some more. Again, we got to be a little bit cagey with how we play this because you can't play too many seconds in a row without pausing it. But here's some more.
Wow.
God damn it. It's so embarrassing. Oh, it's so crazy. Look at this. Look at this fucking freak show. Look at this fucking insanity.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy.
The chainsaw. I mean, it is fucking crazy, man. This is what I mean, folks. When I say, like, this issue's toxic, so you can't run on this. No, you're not winning a majority in this country. This is the majority. This is 50% of the vote right here. This is now the faction that is in charge of the government. Wow. And yes, as Russell said, this is the same guy, Argentina president, faces impeachment calls over crypto crash. Yes, we covered this. We did a thorough segment on this with Pasta, one of our peers in this space who has had this Milei character's number from day one as well. It's part of why I wanted to do that segment with him. So when we clip this, I'll link to that. You can watch all about that. Just a blatant pump and dump. Like, it skyrocketed from 27 cents to $4 within hours, and then it fucking dropped off within the next couple hours, right? So this did not stop the second most powerful man in the world, Donald Trump.
What they call it, a fueracorn?
Yeah, the fuera. Fuera. Yes. That didn't stop the second most powerful man in the world, Donald Trump, from giving him a shout out during his speech. So here's Donald Trump shouting out Javier Milei.
Great honor. And a friend is here from Argentina. And stand up.
Good job.
Great job.
Great job.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Isn't that great? Who would think? Who would think? But he became president too. He's a MAGA guy too. Make Argentina great again, right? Make Argentina great again. I kept hearing about this man. In beautiful Argentina, and it is beautiful, but boy, did it have inflation. Inflation made it less beautiful. I hear you're doing fantastically. We're very proud of you, actually. And
Okay, this is after the guy was busted.
Argentina great again. Thank you very much. Great.
Okay, now even disregarding the whole, you're doing a great job despite the fact, obviously, I mean, this guy is just a blatant crook and a criminal. Here's the great job he's doing in Argentina. This is from December. Extreme poverty soars to affect 6 million in Argentina, study shows. Destitution rates have grown much faster than poverty in recent years in Argentina. So the poverty rate being 53% as of the last official government report doesn't really tell the whole story. The whole story is told when you look at just how poor the poor really are. Because these budget cuts, these afuera after afuera, they have completely immiserated the lower third of the people there on the income ladder. And so that's the great job. Just a obvious scam artist, obvious financial criminal who is presiding over extreme poverty. And once again, this is, I have to say it over and over again, this is who Elon Musk, even more so than Donald Trump, looks up to very much. And then there were these characters here. The third term project for Trump 2028 and beyond. So, yes, let's take a look at what these guys have to say about Donald Trump seeking a third term. This is at CPAC as well.
At which point he'd be in his 80s, right?
Yeah, well into
What
his
is he
80s.
now, 78?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he would be well into his 80s at that point. So here these guys are raising awareness for the third term project. This is at CPAC 2. This is, outside the main hall.
Inside of the cabinet, or have connected directly inside of the cabinet, or have contacts that this would be an official bid for a third term? Or are you guys just trying to raise awareness as activists?
Raising awareness as activists right now. Trump has brought up that if the public demands it and the rules are changed.
What we're really doing right now is we're scamming people out of money, getting them on a donor list, and we're going to take some donations from them. Apparently the people here don't seem to mind being fleeced by scam artists, the scumbags, and so that's what we're here to do, to raise awareness. And by raise awareness, we mean raise money for a cause that's obviously never going to happen.
We started out in a business, RFK. I guess he wouldn't mind now that we mentioned he was a silent partner. We were selling raw water. It was basically from a creek behind my house. But too many people got intestinal worms, so now we've decided they call it a pivot. We pivoted to this business now.
To the third term project, yeah.
Such as with Representative Andy Ogl's amendment that's been proposed, that Trump would step up to the plate. So we are confident that he would step up to the plate if we get to that point. We have not been in contact with officially with the administration. We're building the grassroots groundswell that will lead eventually to
grassroots groundswell.
Are you looking towards any precedent at the state level where governors have served non-consecutive terms?
Not necessarily, but we are interested, if possible, for Article 5 convention of the states to enact the third term project. So we're looking at every available avenue to get this done.
All right. Well, good luck. Of course, the Constitution very clearly states that a president cannot be elected to more than 2 terms. It doesn't stipulate they would have to be consecutive, because then every one-term president could seek 2 on the next time, right? Right. So, and for that matter, you could just keep running every 4 years on and off, alternating terms, right? Every 8 years, I should say. But, these guys are obviously minor leaguers.
That's not the Constitution. That's the amendment they passed after
the amendment.
Roosevelt.
That's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that is a codified amendment, which would, of course, require 2/3 of Congress to overturn, which is, of course, never going to happen. But, those were some minor leaguers floating that. But Steve Bannon is also interested in Donald Trump seeking a third term. Yes, that's right. Here he is.
The future of MAGA is Donald J. Trump. We want Trump in 28. That's what they can't stand. A man like Trump comes along only once or twice in a country's history, right? We want Trump. 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 God, I love you.
God, I love you. So, you may have heard of that if he didn't upstage himself, because the major newsworthy moment of Steve Bannon's speech was, of course, a salute. That's right. He did a salute himself. Here's Steve Bannon's salute.
The only way that they win is we retreat, and we're not going to retreat. We're not going to surrender. We're not going to quit. Fight, fight, fight. Amen.
See, he even does.
Nah, that's why I always called him Autistic Steve.
Autistic Steve.
Because his arms used to, a lot of times I didn't like to eat with him. He'd knock over the gravy. His arms would be going this way, that way, every which way. He'd knock over the dinner rolls. He couldn't control himself.
Clearly a try. You can see how he kind of nods, like, "Yep, I did that," right after.
The only way that they win is we retreat, and we're not going to retreat. We're not going to surrender. We're not going to quit. Fight, fight, fight.
Boom. Man. Yeah, that's right.
Amen.
Yeah, that's right. Amen. That's right. Amen. And this was apparently obvious enough to a French far-right leader who cancels his speech at CPAC. Bannon denies making Nazi salute as French far-right leader cancels speech. Stephen K. Bannon, an ally of President Donald Trump, made a gesture with his right arm that resembled a Nazi salute while speaking before the Conservative Political Action Conference on Thursday night, prompting a far-right French leader to pull out of a scheduled appearance at the conference Friday in protest. Jordan Bardella, a leader of France's far-right National Rally Party, canceled a speech he was set to give at CPAC, citing the gesture as the reason in a statement, Politico reported. In his statement, Bardella said a CPAC speaker had allowed himself as a provocation to make a gesture referring to Nazi ideology. He continued, "Therefore, I have taken the immediate decision to cancel my scheduled speaking engagement at the event this afternoon." A representative for Bardella did not immediately respond to a request for comment from the Washington Post. Bannon told the Post that the gesture was a wave and said no when asked by reporters at CPAC whether it was a Nazi salute. The podcast host, meaning Bannon, via text message, responded to a question about the gesture by saying LMAO, a phrase indicating laughter. Yes, it's a wave that I do with my motivational speeches. The pathetic enemy of the people media, afraid to address the content of the speech, he added. Now, in fairness to Steve Bannon, this French politician, because he didn't make a specific reference to Steve Bannon. He didn't say, I saw Steve Bannon do a Nazi salute. He said an individual did a salute that seemed to be a provocation and a nod to Nazi ideology. And at an event like CPAC, there is the possibility, I would have to look at the speaker list and the calendar to see who spoke when and where this guy was present, but there is a possibility that he was referring to the other guy who did the Nazi salute, Mexican actor Eduardo Verastegui, performing Nazi salute today at CPAC. Let's take a look at this guy.
Going to join the Elon Musk and President Trump's movement. My heart goes out to all of you. Fight, fight, fight.
See, so it's possible he was referring to the other guy who did the Nazi salute and not Steve Bannon.
You've got to give it to the MAGA movement. When you can bring in whites and their victims under one Nazi salute banner, like you've really accomplished something. That is one unifying message.
Right.
When you can bring non-white people together around Nazi ideology and iconography.
Yeah.
Wow. That is some multicultural
is
coalition they put together there.
That is unity of a kind, for sure. Let's take a look at this one guy.
Very impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. Once more.
Join the Elon Musk and President Trump's movement. My heart goes out to all of you. Fight, fight, fight.
So obviously my heart goes out to all of you.
Don't worry, you don't have to push me in the oven. I get in myself.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. That is the character of CPAC this year. Just I'm sorry. You can't tell me this is not a tragicomic rendering of a collapse into fascism. And idol worship. I know these guys are clowns, but it is indicative of something. Donald Trump is Julius Caesar. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Like, it is such a what a ridiculous place this is. Really, what a ridiculous, and at times hilarious, at times sad, at times infuriating, but at times hilarious. I am not above enjoying a good laugh at what an absolute fucking clown show this place has turned into.
All of these people, I'm not suggesting any violence, but, they should be held accountable by the people for their theft, robbery, abuse, and just absolutely ridiculous hoarding of wealth and resources in a country where, 10 people have about half the wealth? Is that what it is? It's about
something like that, yeah.
It's like 10 people. Yeah. Like do you know how much you have to brainwash and condition people like animals, like horses, to accept that bit, to accept being steered that way, not only to be steered that way, but to emphatically defend these people as we so often see? What are you, jealous?
What are you jealous?
Wow.
Please clap.